Okay, hello my wonderfuls. So I'm gonna be watching the MV for the Buldak X Boy Next Door Earth, Wind and Fire Hotter Than My Ex like collab like revamp version of the song, and I'm curious to see like what this is gonna end up being like. But I've seen people talk about how like, oh, it's actually like a bop, so I'm like, okay, like I honestly already loved Earth, Wind and Fire, so I'm curious to see how they ended up changing it. But I mean, let me just read what this says in the beginning, because become a self-lover, this is a small success, hotter than my ex, stronger than before. This isn't just about spice, it's about release the sweat, the tears, the pressure you've been holding in. When the heat hits, the thing stays hidden, you let it out, you get through it, and on the other side, you're no longer who you were before. Okay, come on, deep message with Buldak, but we're just gonna go ahead and watch. Or Buldak, we're gonna probably pronounce it that way. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Earth, wind, and fire. Oof. Oh, that in the shape of a heart. Cute. Ooh. Oof. Oh, everything's like turning into heart, like break. Oh, so hot. Ooh. Oh, so now I'm okay, okay. Oh, come on. Oh, this is recent too, because it has Leehan's red hair. Maybe that's why he dyed his hair red. Oh, the milk to diffuse. Make it man alone and Nate again. Nate a man, don't want something to tell me. Oh, he's like, we're gonna burn Valentine's Day. Think I love you more than this. Need you more. Baby, baby, ready so hot. Baby, baby, make me feel so lit. Oh, okay. Fire. Bum, bum, bum. Earth and my ex. Woo-hoo. Don't stop. You're my lady, no punya. So name it May, no, so we should follow you. Hey. It's a little bit jarring to hear like the changes, but it makes sense with the message that they're giving. Oof, come on, Leehan. More. No. Boom. Okay. Wait, I gotta kind of like that. It just, it's making it, since, the whole song, Earth, Wind, and Fire was about, falling for someone and then becoming your entire, like, world and, like, all the elements and everything that like, comprises your, like, whole, like, being and your focus. Here, it's like, now that, it's been, like, it's a breakup song, they're like, oh, like, I'm putting myself first. That's what the message that they're giving. I'm putting myself first and, prioritizing, like, my mental health, my, like, physical health over, like, a toxic relationship or a relationship where like I am not put first in it. Does that make sense? So it's interesting to how they ended up pairing that with the Buldak ramen, but I think it makes sense because there's in Korea specifically, I think they say there's a specific like scene from like a drama that I remember where the main character, I think it's a female lead character, she's like, oh, like I need to eat something spicy because when you eat something spicy, or no, it wasn't even, no, it wasn't a female lead. It was a male character. I'm thinking of what's it called? I'm thinking of the KBL Light on Me, the KBL Light on Me. The main character, he's like, oh, like I want to eat something spicy because when I eat something spicy, like it triggers something in your senses that like releases I don't know if it like releases endorphins or something to like calm down the like how hot and fiery to like it makes you in a better mood, I think.
안 매워? 난 보기만 해도 매운데.
매운데 이렇게 매운 걸 먹으면 기분이 나아져. 맵다는 건 통각이라 혀가 고통스럽다고 느껴서 뇌에서 기분 좋은 엔돌핀을 막 분출하는 거래. 신기하지?
신기하네. 이거 마셔.
And it helps like release like the pent up frustration as well. So I think that's what they're trying to say here is like, oh, like, because like people always like try to like build, or Valentine's Day in general has like such a big like has like a big hold on like what's it called, people, or like or even like in terms of like the economy or whatever, because people try to like always make bank on the holiday because people are like trying to spend money on like things for their loved ones. So here they're just like, oh, like instead of like with the correlation of Valentine's Day, because like not everyone has like a Valentine or is in a relationship, or some people are single or like maybe getting over a breakup. So in relation to that, like just go and buy like the Buldak ramen and like just eat how spicy it is, so you can like basically release all like that frustration, that pent up anger, that sadness from like the heat, because it like ends up like triggering like something in like your anatomy and chemistry, like body chemistry, that like helps release like endorphins to like make you feel happy instead of being sad in the situation that you're in, of like that relationship, or like maybe getting out of a relationship, or maybe not being in one. So I like that they went that route. I think it just makes sense, but also it's just funny that they did that Boy Next Door was like the one, like the person they're like, oh, we want them to like be an ambassador or like endorse or like do a collab with for this. But maybe it's because they really liked the connotation of Earth, Wind, and Fire, but like let's try doing it a switched up way where it's like you're putting yourself first instead of putting putting the person that you're in a relationship with first, because that's usually what happens when you're in that like first like phase of liking someone or like being in a relationship with that person, where you're just like, oh, like you put their needs and their wants ahead of your own because you're so blinded by love. So here it's just like, no, like you're out of the relationship, or like are single, like focus on making yourself better, or focus on your like well-being first, because like you are the utmost important thing instead of someone else, because it's like it's yourself, it's not about anyone else. So I like that they went that route, as someone who can relate to like being single and not like not really like, although not really like sad about it, like what I mean, but it's still like kind of encourage you to be like like self-love, like really much like how it's in the beginning, like focus on that instead of focusing like, because you don't need to be in a relationship to be happy, you can just be yourself and focus on like what you want to do, your future in that aspect, if that makes sense. But it was fun, it was interesting. I like the references. I know they had to like throw in obviously the Buldak ramen because that's who they're sponsoring, and the putting a female lead in here kind of like makes sense, because you're like it's it's mostly like, I feel like maybe they're trying to reach for like the female demographic, especially to like you're like, oh, like don't be sad, like just be be positive and stuff like that, and not really like focus on the upset, like the downs of it. But then also like basically like saying like we're gonna destroy Valentine's Day was also like such a mood. And then it also kind of like pays a little bit of like homage to like the way that they shot Earth, Wind, and Fire, because it's kind of like there's similar kind of like frames where they kind of shot it to be somewhat similar, where like there's something like going on in the background, and like they're like a small version of them, like with like how in Earth, Wind, and Fire video, like they're on like the center, right? But then like there's a bunch of like crazy like CGI or like stuff going around, like with like the spinning house, or like they're like flying around and stuff like that. It kind of, it's very reminiscent of that MV, right? But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I shall see you in the next one.